All right. I'm just rolling on up in here and still got a few things I gotta get straightened out on. All right. All right. All right. All right. What's going on, party people? All right. I gotta do a quick dip. Throw some music on for a sec. Hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta do one thing. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. Whoo, man. I literally just getting home, had to do two quick scan backs and change clothes. Yep, had to do that. So I'm still trying to get myself together. And see, I have a thing, I can't be on camera wrinkled. I even shaved. I had to shave. I was looking earlier today. I was like, man, I'm looking a little too scruffy. So I shaved real quick. Put on a shirt. I just grabbed this first shirt that I knew didn't have any wrinkles in it because I didn't have a chance to iron anything. So I'm like, let me get myself together here. So feel free to start. I'll be right back. And feel free to start dropping your questions in there. Do me a favor. Let me do it this way. Yeah, do me that. I'll be right back. All right, all right, all right, all right. Now I had to clean up a little bit. Like I said, I got home about 7:45. No, that's 7:45. I mean 8:45, and then I had to do two quick scan backs, and because I had a 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7:30. The 7:30 came up at the last minute, and so I took that, and the way that one came up, and this is one of the things that I share with y'all all the time. And thanks again, please hit the like button, okay? YouTube ain't sending the notifications out to people. So hit the like button, please hit the like button. My 3 point man, I forgot you. When you get in here, man, let me know you're in here. He knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, one of the things that I share with y'all all the time is when an order comes in, if you don't have, let's say like today I had a 5 o'clock and a 6 o'clock. The order that I did at 7:30, they actually wanted to do it at 5. Well, that's the time that they laid out. Well, what ended up happening? So when I responded back saying that I could do it at 7:30. Maybe they'll give it to me, maybe they won't. About an hour or so went by, and I get a phone call and they was like, hey, yeah, this here's the such and such title company, and wanted to know, can you do it at 7:30 like you said? And I was like, yeah, I can. So they said, let us talk to the borrower, make sure they straight, and it's a HELOC. I said, no problem, and it was for 65, and went over there and got that taken care of. So the reason why I took that last minute one was because I had a 12 o'clock and it got rescheduled for 3, and there was no way I could do it because I had to be somewhere else. So I was like, I had to pass on that. I can't remember how much that was for, but nonetheless, I missed, I couldn't do that. So I was like, I need to still make some money. So that's why I took this last minute one. And this is exactly what I've been sharing with y'all for the last couple of weeks. Um, okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. So, so I was like, I just need, I want to make, some money. I know that's 65. I don't know how much I made for the day, but it was there, and I said I'll knock it out. And there was some other orders that came up afterwards, which would have prohibited me from being here with y'all. So I didn't take those, but I got 3 tomorrow that I got to do. Nothing on Sunday because it's my wife's graduation for her student, and I need to show y'all the pictures that I took. I got skills, still got them. But yeah, so yeah, what I share with y'all all the time, I'm a practicer of it. I'm not like these other notary people out here that tell y'all to do things and then don't do it myself. I actually do it. I actually go out here and I practice what I share. I won't say preach, but I practice what I share and everything. So good evening, Eric, Frank, Caprentice, my man Leo. Good to see you, Angela. I had called you. I know you've been busy, but I did call and send you a text, just checking on you, make sure you're doing all right. We got Dorinda in here. We got Oliver, okay, and then we got my lady Jessica. I told y'all Jessica's tearing it up. She is tearing it up. All right. So now if y'all might see some things pop up called stream elements. I'm testing out some stuff. I don't know if these little chat box working or not. I'm trying to get them to work and everything. So maybe they work, maybe they don't. I don't know. So if y'all see little messages pop up, that's all that is. I've been practicing with that all day. Don't know if it's connecting or not, but I'll figure it out later. So Oliver, you said, good evening, Mr. Grill. How is it that some notaries charge like 80 plus for a POA or a will and says it's a specialty service when it's more than basically that, when that's more than the state fee per stamp, not talking about travel? Because that's what they feel like doing. And somebody on Instagram, and y'all know who he is, keeps telling notaries to do that, as well as his mentor who's on YouTube a lot. They keep saying what he telling people to do that. And his mentor is connected to Moise Watkins. I'm just being straight with you, little Boyce Watkins. I'm saying his name, and I don't care if he come after me. But him, I don't care for. I don't care for. But they're doing that. That's the thing. They're doing this because they just found a way. They're thinking they found a way to get away with it, and they're just giving it a shot. And unfortunately, the people who are being serviced don't know any better, and they're not saying anything. And this is the way people are getting around. So over and over and over again. Okay, what in the world? Okay, if y'all accidentally get timed out, my bad. I think I got something set wrong on my thing. So Oliver, I think you might have got timed out by accident. Like I said, I'm trying this new thing and it's timing people out. So Let me figure something out, especially if you, because I got certain spam filters on. So let me turn them off. Let me turn all of that off. All right, let me turn that off. So if you get, um, I don't know what's going on, but we'll figure out. Yeah, I'll figure all that out later. So I just turned that off and everything. But yeah, so like in my state, you can charge whatever you want for travel as long as they agree to it. When it comes to general notary work, and for the stamp fee, it's up to $5 if you're face to face, 25 if you're online. So the average power of attorney, in all honesty, really runs to me about maybe $40 at the most that I'm charging. 40 at the most that I'm charging. Now, if they, they might give me a tip, whatever, they might say keep the change. I can convert that to, and I believe I can convert that to travel fee. Okay, that'll just be additional travel fee. But that's what it is. Now, there's people that say, well, it's specialty. I'm doing an extra service. I'm doing it as a convenience to you. I'm helping you out when you really need to because it's an emergency for you and all of that. Unless, your state ain't telling you that you can do that, you're not supposed to be doing that. But there's folk out here that are doing that, and it's really jacked up that they're doing that and they're getting away with it. So this is why, like, if you look on my Google business page, and I have on my Google business page, I don't charge convenience fees. And I did that on purpose. And I think I even have it on my website so that people will know that, hey, here he's not charging convenience fees. And yes, I'll be straight with you. I'm doing it as a way of to compete against those who do. There's people who charge convenience fees, which they shouldn't be doing. So I'm letting the clientele out there know, you come to me, you're not going to get charged this convenience fee. I charge the state mandated fee and I charge the travel fee, and I roll with that. And what it is also, Oliver, is that there are a lot of people who actually want, they don't want to do the notary work, the loan closings. It's too much for them. They can't handle it. So they're trying to make their money. They want money quick. They don't like the delay in getting paid from the signing services or title companies, even if they're working direct, because not all direct clients pay you same day. And that's a lie. So anybody telling you they all pay, no, not all of them. They all don't pay same day. They pay once they get their money, then they pay you. Okay. Period. In the story. And because they don't like that, what's going on, man? What's going on, buddy? So because they don't like that delay, or they really need the money now, that's where they're doing this here. Oh, let me charge you $80. Let me charge you $90. Let me charge you $150. Oh, matter of fact, I'll print it for you and charge you $20. Oh, you don't have the power of attorney paperwork? Okay, no problem. I'll go download the paperwork and get it all set up for you. In Virginia, we're not allowed to do that. Legally, we cannot help you prepare documents unless we've been trained that way. Okay. So that's where the problem comes in at. And thanks again, y'all, for hitting the like button. Let me turn this off. Thanks for hitting the like button. Let me hit the like button. But yeah, so yeah, Miss Jones, I see it deleted your message. So feel free to put your message back in there, as well as you, Oliver. My bad. That stream elements, did a little too much. I guess I had the thing set too high. So whatever message let me see what hold on. Okay, yeah, I got that message. And then let me see. Okay, your message came through. I don't know what was going on, but I got y'all messages. Okay, so let me deal with her. So Oliver, hopefully that answered um your question. If it didn't, or you need more, just let me know and I'll hop back on it. So it says, hello, I got my loan service certificate about 2 years ago, never listed with any agencies or did anything towards starting. I was so nervous about not knowing the documents. If you've been following me and listening to the channel, as I've always told you, you don't need to know the documents. unless your state has said so. So anybody who has told you that, that's really, in my opinion, a way that they can just get you to spend money with them. And then, again, this is question and answer time tonight, y'all. This is a way for them to get money from you. Because think about it. If your state law says you don't have to know the documents, but yet that's all they're teaching, then and did your state approve their teaching? If your state didn't approve Fred Jones or Mary Smith notary training, now there's a difference now. Y'all might be thinking about people, but this person is teaching for the state, but they're teaching what the state is telling them to teach, or the state has approved their training. Did the person you're talking to, you're living in Kansas, and the person you're listening to down in West Virginia, did their training get approved by your state? If it didn't, you're just listening to somebody out there that's trying to make money off of training people and may not be necessarily telling them the right thing. And again, as I always say, you're willing to teach me how to market my business and learn documents, but yet you can't help me with knowing how to notarize properly because you said that's too tricky. That can, that messes with things legally. I mean, you're asking me to do something that I shouldn't be legally doing anyway. So knowing that the documents is the number one reason why most notaries aren't getting out there. People have spent money to get in this business, and if they would be honest and tell me this here, for anybody that's listening, was your concern about knowing the documents the top one of the top three reasons why you didn't get out there and do more with this business over the last 2 years? If it was, put a one in the chat. Anybody who had problems getting out here doing the business because they was concerned about not knowing the documents, and that was one of the three reasons why you didn't do anything, put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. Don't be afraid. Okay, nobody's going to land base you and jump on you and all of that. Be honest. Be upfront. Be honest. Okay, because so many people have called me and told me that the reason why they don't do the closing because they're scared that they don't know the documents well enough. But then the crazy part is they're like, I'm gonna do general notary work so I can get comfortable doing this. But general notary work does prepare you for loan closings because you're learning how to notarize properly, but it'll never prepare you for knowing the documents because one, they're not loan documents, and two, you don't need to know the loan documents. As I've always shared with y'all, if you don't need to know a power of attorney, now keep in mind, Oliver mentioned that people are doing power of attorneys and wills. I guarantee you they're not explaining them. I guarantee you they're not going over like pointing things out to them. So if you don't need to know a power of attorney or a will, why do you need to know a loan document? And the only excuse that people have given me, oh, it is good customer service. Well, wouldn't it be good customer service if you knew the power of attorney? And what people tend to say is, well, they got the document. The documents didn't come to me. So what that tells me is that because the documents was actually sent to you as a notary, you feel that you have some ownership of the documents and that you need to personally know the documents because they were sent to you. But documents that weren't sent to you, they were sent to the customer. You're like, well, that was something y'all did over there. It's the same thing. And nobody can prove to me otherwise. If you were sent documents or not sent documents, your responsibility toward those documents, according to your state law, is the same. And I'm challenging anybody to prove me different and show me what states say that you, because I know Louisiana, you can get deep down into it. And I know Virginia from the standpoint, and Virginia statute says, and if I had time, I will pull it up. But it says that you're not supposed to prepare, draft, or even help somebody understand a document that requires notarization unless you are duly qualified and trained in that area. Have we been properly trained in the area of knowing that document to the point that we can explain it to them without crossing over into the unauthorized practice of law? And in most cases, the answer is no, we have not. Says continue. Do you have a link of you going over the documents and what you suggest I do first? I'm ready. I have Notary Basics. I don't know how long I think you've been watching my channel for a while. I think I remember your name. So one of the things y'all have to do, y'all got to just take the time out and go through my channel. Go to the um the main channel, the main page of my channel, and I've done videos after videos showing y'all how to get to that, and then actually go ahead on and go to my YouTube channel, click, and even now if you was to click the name of my channel as you're looking at it, you will be able to you'll go to the main thing, you'll see the blue banner up there and it says playlist. One of the playlists that I share with people to go to is the Notary Basics. You go to Notary Basics and it has all the stuff in there. Everything you need is it's right there. All you have to do is go there. So like, let me share this with y'all real quick. I'll show y'all again. And keep putting your questions in there. I'm gonna get to them. Um, so if you're on YouTube, you can just type in Griffin Notary. My channel's right here. You click on the picture or the name, and it takes you to my channel. You go down here to playlists, and they have all these different playlists that I have. Okay, you scroll down. Where the heck is it? Right here, Notary Basics. You click on that. If you click on View for, and they got all these videos in here, what, 115 videos. The information is on the site. Y'all have to take the time out and go in here and look at it. Okay. And again, thanks for y'all support and everything. I really, really appreciate it. For many of y'all who've sent, donations to me via what's that Cash App. Appreciate it, because I know some of y'all like to do it, anonymously or privately. So thank you very much for doing that, as well as here. Thank you for hitting the super thanks on the the videos that I've done in the past. When y'all look at them, thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. But this here has everything, I won't say everything you need, but it has a lot of what you would need in there. If you go to the home page, popular videos, it starts off right here, boom, boom, showing you 81,000 views on this here loan doc overview. My latest videos, Notary Basic playlist, what I just showed y'all is right here. Videos that I've done, shorts that I've done. If you're a member, it has member only videos that I've done. The current video now and stuff. And then this is my wife's channel. So it's right there for you. The information is there. One of the things, this is the thing you have to do, is you gotta like step out of your comfort zone. And this is just for everybody, and I had to learn to do this. And okay, let me look through this channel. Let me look and see what's here. And then I just started going through different channels and looking and seeing the information they have, not just waiting for the most recent video, but looking at what they've said. Because I got over 1,000 videos, probably about 1,300 videos, between 12 and 1,300 videos. So if you go through and look, and like one of my channel members named Jan, he actually go through, he done found videos that I completely forgot about. Matter of fact, his one video he mentioned to me, I told him, I said, man, I got to go back and look at that video before I can answer your question, because that's been so long ago that I don't even remember what I said in it. So that's where you start. I've talked about it in other videos, even this year. Start with signing up with signing companies. I did a video not too long ago about the 3 signing companies you can sign up with. If you have not seen that, I don't know why. I don't know why. And sometimes you can't just always wait for the notifications to tell you, hey, there's a video up, because YouTube won't put them out there. Jeff's talking about what best notary shoes, whatever make your feet feel good. That's just simply it, man. That's simply it. Whatever makes your feet feel good, that's what you need to wear. Okay. In the store, you know, in the store. And you're in Michigan. Yeah. So Michigan, I do know y'all have a notary handbook. It's focusing on making sure you do what your state says because, and I know the notary, some of the notary trainers have not all, they probably don't care for me. They don't like what I say, this, that, and the other. But I just want somebody to show me where I'm incorrect at, because everybody keeps talking about, well, there's the notary and then there's the loan signing agent or notary signing agent. Is that what your state says, or is that what these people are here saying? Well, as a loan signing agent, you go through the documents. Well, I don't want to go through the documents. So does that mean that I can't do loan closings? I mean, am I going through the documents because I'm supposed to, or because somebody told me to? Which one is it? Where's the proof that my state wants me to do that? Well, the title companies would like for you to do that. Not all title companies do. I know a title company right now. I've talked, the lady's been in business, two of them actually. They've been in the business, in the notary, in the mortgage industry doing title work for 30 years. And they told me straight up, that ain't what we want you to do. They said that we have things done here. We have escrow people who will cover that and explain. When we ask y'all to go out, we already take care of that, making sure they know what they got to do, signing what they're doing. So we're not expecting y'all to do that. Yeah, it would be nice if you give a summary, this, that, and the other, but we know legally you really can't do that. So they know that we can't. So there's title companies that know their particular state law that we can't do that. Now, will there be a title company that has work done in Virginia and they say, well, in Texas, we have our notaries do that? Well, that's nice, but in Virginia, I can't. And that's, to me, the beauty of this business, is that we are supposed to follow our state law, not the state law for somebody else. That's the beauty of this business. And a lot of companies have a hard time accepting that because they're so much in a bubble of what they do. They're saying, well, this is the way we do it. That ain't the way we do it here. And because they don't understand the notary laws, they just assume that what they want trumps what you're supposed to be doing legally. Okay. And then, oh, my man, he said, right, I knew when I became a notary I was going to be fair. I'm charging them just 25 cents to print. Thanks for the answer. You answered perfectly. Roger that. Then it says here, sign my first document today. Congratulations to you, Victoria, Miss Saber. Congrats to you. Congrats to you. Oh, there's my stream element saying, what's up? What's going on here, party people? Okay, it's working. It's working. All right, cool, cool. And then, yeah, you're welcome. I'm gonna tell you the real. And the thing is, there's people out here who know the real like I do, but let's just be real. If you knew this, if I was a notary trainer and I shared with you that my training is pretty much going to be marketing, it's going to be pretty much teaching you business structure, this, that, and the other, and what I'm teaching you for as understanding the documents may not be applicable to you because your state law may restrict you from doing that. And it may be basically illegal for you to discuss the documents. And I have a course for $85. Would you really spend money with me knowing that there's a high chance that 100% of what I have to share with you is irrelevant to you in accordance with your state law? If you would still spend money with me, put a 1 in the chat. If you wouldn't spend money with me, put a 2 in the chat. So here's the thing. I'm telling you up front that what I'm going to teach you is probably not going to really be applicable to you because you may have variant state laws, and I'm basing it on my personal experience and what I do in my state. I don't know your state laws, but I'm telling you, you can take my notary training. so that you can make money in this business. But you need to realize that what I'm teaching you may not be applicable. I'm not in an attorney state, so I'm teaching you things based off of what I do here, working with the title companies. And if you're a Georgia notary or a South Carolina notary, you may not want to take my course because you are an attorney state, even though it's only $85. If you would still spend money with me and take my course, even though I'm telling you up front, it's probably not going to be any beneficial to you. Put a 1 in the chat if you wouldn't take the training. If you've been told the real up front, put a 2 in the chat, because that's all I've ever asked that notary trainers do. But what the deal is, they say you need to decide that for yourself. And I think that's a waste of time and money to go take something, and then you wouldn't even send your kid. Your kid wants to be an engineer, and they say, yeah, come to this college here, dot, dot, dot. We got the best training, this, that, and the other. Well, do you teach engineering? Look, you just need to come in and you'll see. You'll find. No, you want to know before you spend $100,000 on your kids' molecular engineer training, whether or not that school provides the proper training. So why can't you know whether or not this training is applicable to you and what are the limitations of it before you start spending money on it? And there's nothing wrong with knowing that. This is why I'm saying it's time for you to step your game up, and you have every right to start asking questions, inquiring, all of that. Because when you do this, yeah, I understand that trainer may not make as much money, but here's the thing. I believe the error rate that the title companies and the signing companies and the lenders are experiencing with notaries can go down, because you're not getting information that is irrelevant to you in your state. You're learning how to do things correctly, okay? Or you're not learning how to do things incorrectly because you're not listening to somebody teach something that's not applicable to you. That's the thing. I'm not saying that their stuff is bad. What I'm saying is, if it's not applicable, it can cause you to do bad things. It makes sense if you was in their situation. If you was in Georgia and they said, this is the way you go about getting business, this is how you work with attorneys, but then you try to implement that in your state and there are no attorneys, or vice versa, or you're in Maryland who has that you got to have a tip license, title insurance producer license, but in your state you don't. It can change the way you approach the business. So in other words, you want to approach the business correctly with information that's relevant and applicable to you in your state. And what I keep hearing over and over again from various notary trainers that have talked to me, and I've had some arguments with them, is it's on you. You got to do this yourself. You got to figure that out. When I've talked to lenders and title companies and title insurance companies, they all said, what? It's on you. You're responsible for making sure you do things right. So that means what? If you don't ask questions of these people saying they're going to teach you something to make sure that it's relevant to you in your state, you're putting yourself in a bad situation. You see, you have to give yourself some grace to be new at something. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It says, before I found Griff and before my first order, I had created an entire alphabetical handbook with the titles of 100 documents to help me explain the documents. Ooh, boy. Yeah. What's going on, Matherin? Okay, man. There you go, talking Creole. No, not Creole. Is it French or something? Down there, Haitian. I know you're talking some Haitian language there. Give me some oxtail soup. That's what I need. I was what kind of best shoes. Sometimes I need to remove my shoes. No, I ain't taking my shoes off. I had a groundworks inspection needed. Okay. I had a groundworks inspection needed. So you did one. That is good if you did. Oh, the sketch. That's how you found me. Cool. Cool. Ben K John Ooey. I know how to speak that. I know how to speak that with y'all. All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let me get caught up on y'all. Let me get caught up on here. Just out there, just get out there and swim. That's all you got to do. Yeah. 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 I got three printers all together. I got another one I gotta get back up and running and stuff. The 6200 is this one, and this one here is the 6210. That 6210 is nice. I like it. I like it. It's the toner and this stuff is a little more expensive, but man, it is nice. It is nice. It helps them to keep the knowledge and sell it. Yeah, it does. It does. It does. Uh, right. Any other questions? Some people feel like they aren't adequate enough, so they fall for it. And that is, you know what? That is a true statement. Feel free to ask any questions that you have concerning the notary business, general notary, loan closings. If I got to pull up a loan document to show y'all some stuff, I will. This is a safe space. Feel free to ask your questions. Everything. Got my fruit juice here. Well, that's watermelon. Love watermelon juice. But yeah, see, I did a video about people being scared. What has made you scared? And what I realized, and it's across the board, when somebody can get you to be unsure or feel inadequate about what you're trying to do, if they can get you to doubt yourself, they got you, because then they say, come to me and I will help you to undoubt yourself. And that's why I keep saying over and over again, and I don't know if anybody's picking this up. Please help me understand if y'all pick up when I say this statement, and tell me, put a 3 in the chat if you've been picking up what I'm saying, what I mean by when I say this. I keep saying the statement, before you ever became a notary or got into any of this, you was making decisions and you had confidence and knew what you wanted to do and knew how to go about getting it with nobody giving you any information. You faced challenges. You got put into a position at work that you had no clue about doing it, but you figured it out. But yet, when you become a notary, you're like, I don't know what to do. And I know that, just thought about something. And I know that that's many of you, it's like, it's frustrating because on one end, you're like, I know what to do. I know how to figure things out. I've been doing it for the last 20 years of my life before I ever came across any of these people on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And now I get exposed to them, and now I'm doubting my ability to learn on my own. I'm doubting as if like I need them in order to move forward, that this business is so complex and so complicated that without them I'll never be able to move forward. And then the question is, who are they? Who are they that I actually need them in order to? I couldn't stop and I had to find something, y'all. It was something I was looking for. I had to find it. I finally found it. So I had to sit it over here so I don't forget it. It was killing me until I found it. But I y'all know how to figure when your kids acting up, when your man acting up, when your woman acting up, when your in-laws acting up, when your job acting up, you know how to figure out that, oh, they trying to set me up. They trying to set me up. Boss comes in. So what time did you get in today? I didn't see your car out front. You saw my car. You just want to see if I'm going to tell you that I came in at 8:01 instead of 7:59. You saw my car. You know. You see what I'm saying? You pick that kind of stuff up, but you can't tell me you can't figure this out. And all I'm saying is put forth the effort to figure this business out on your own and use their training and their knowledge and everything that they've got as a supplement to what you've learned. So that way you can be like, okay, if y'all not going to teach me certain things, then let me learn what you're not going to teach me first. And then I will add in your marketing, your this, your that after the fact. Because if the core thing that I need to know how to do, you're not able to teach me or willing to teach me, then I need to get that down pat. Let me learn that, and then I'll figure the rest out with y'all. And on my journey of learning how to do this business as a notary, you know what? I actually figured out everything that you wanted to pay me to do. And that is what some people don't want you to do. They don't want you to figure it out on your own. They want to be the ones to help you to figure it out. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you are a person who really can't figure it out, I get it. But the core thing that they're not helping you with is how to be a notary for the proper notarizations of those documents. And once you get that down packed, everything else is easy. We got Ronnie in the house. Okay, she's in Florida. Got my man Caprinis. He said, Griff, do you think it may be because your state notary laws only specifically speak about notary work as opposed to the total package? For example, here in California, there's nothing in California that says you can get in trouble for missing a signature date or a non-notarized on a non-notarized document. That's a good point. Um, well, I think that should be intuitive that if you've been given documents that you need to get their signature and date on, and that's the whole purpose of us going there to get signatures and date, even on the non-notarized documents, it should be, to me, it should be clear that I got this stack of documents and I got pages that requires a signature. Because these are basically mini contracts all rolled into one. So on this document, they want them to sign like the borrowers, like let's say like the VA reporting certification. They want them to sign saying that they read this. So it should be, to me, it should be intuitive that you would get in trouble for not having gotten their signature on there. Just like some of the signers, when I'm there, they're asking me, their name is big as day on this document, and they're asking me, do I need to sign this? And I'm like, that's the whole purpose of us being here. So if the purpose of us being here is to sign the document, why would I come here for you just to look at it, give it back, and then send it without signatures? Hopefully, I don't know if that's where you're going with that, but yeah, do you think because your notary laws only specifically speak about notary work as opposed to the total pack? And then I would say, okay, what's the total package? And I guess the total package is, missing signatures and things of that nature. And I think as one, as I think my state said, the way they looked at it was, we figured if you at least got a sixth grade education, you should be able to figure some things out. And I was like, okay, I got a sixth grade education. They said you should be able to figure out basic understanding of what the statutes and this, that, and the other saying. And I know that's not applicable to everybody, but that's was their thought process. And then my man said, do you think there could be some confusion amongst notaries about the difference between explaining documents and giving brief overviews of what it is the signer signing? Okay, here's a question. Why does the signer not know what they're signing before they get to us? So when you think about it, and happy Friday to you, Akita. And I see you say here, I asked because I had a couple of signings where the signer wanted to know what documents they were signing. Okay, well, here's the thing. They're grown people. Aren't they responsible for reading, knowing what they're reading? They're grown people. They've been working with a title company and a lender for about 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 months. And you mean to tell me nobody took the time out to make sure that they understood what they're supposed to be signing? So now here I am, this mobile notary, don't know who they are. Case in point, let's use this as an example. Romy, where are you from? What state you're in? Real quick, what state are you in? What state you in, Rome? Let me get down here. I don't because I'm missing all kinds of things. All right, you in Florida. So let's say you down in Florida, and I got to go back up here so I don't miss you. So you in Florida. Somebody's traveling from Connecticut, and they happen to meet you down in Florida. So that means you have no visibility, no idea what's going on with this loan, anything, and it's a cash deal. And they come down, they're on vacation, and they get notification word, hey, we need to close tomorrow. They get you, you go there, and they're like, okay, well, what is this I'm signing? My question is this: if you're buying a 200, 300, $400,000 house, $50,000 house, a plot of land, you mean to tell me you don't know what you're signing? You mean to tell me you don't have the discipline or the wherewithal to read the document before you sign it? Because this is something you, Mr. or Miss Signer, is agreeing to between you and that individual that prepared the documents. You're borrowing money, you're purchasing something from somebody, and you're telling me that at this point in time, you have not taken time out or won't take time out to know what you're reading, which means you're saying you want me to tell you what it is, and I could just tell you anything. I could just make up something, and because I said it, you're like, okay, cool. And sometimes I feel, and I'm just being honest with you, that the person is asking me to tell them so that way, if I say something incorrect, they can have a reason not to buy the property or to get out of, because they say, oh well, that ain't what the notary said. And that's why our state law talks to us about being careful about what we're saying with these documents, because if we start trying to explain and help them to understand, and that's what Virginia law says, we're not supposed to even help them to understand. So you're looking at this document and you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know what you're signing. Shouldn't you take time out to read it for yourself? When you go to the doctor's office, you don't you can go up there to the front there. What is this I'm signing? They like, read it. If you know how to read, read. You filled out the loan application. You submitted all the other documentation they needed in order for them to approve you for the loan. They say go get a cashier's check. Nobody had to read to you how to get a cashier's check. So all of this stuff you did prior to closing, you did on your own. You figured it out, and then you get here like, well, I ain't signing this until you tell me what I'm signing. Now, now, here's where it puts us to me in a particular in a position to where we can back out, or we could legally, because our state law says that if the person who's signing is don't if they're not doing it of their own free will, because that's what we're there to. Are you doing this of your own free will? Do you know what you're signing? I don't know what I'm signing. Okay, well, I'm out. Because if you don't know what you're signing, and I can't make you sign something. So when you start talking about explaining or giving overviews, to me, especially if you're only addressing this for loan closings, but you don't do it for any other types, what you're doing now is trying to make sure the deal gets done. And notaries are supposed to be neutral. We're not supposed to have a say so in whether or not that person is signing or not signing the document. We're not supposed to influence it in either direction. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. Correct me and give me not just your words, but actual proof. And state law says this, okay? State law tells us not to. And I'm gonna have to find that daggone state law. I will find it tonight, and I will show y'all what Virginia says, okay? So you're going to do what you want to do. Nobody's going to be there to see you. It's going to be between you and them. And if you feel confident in just explaining or giving an overview, then you do so. But don't get upset if the person is doing something nefarious and then turn around and say, well, I just signed. I mean, I'm just going by what the notary said. And then after I read it later on, I realized that what the notary said was not clear. You see what I'm saying? You're sitting here spending all your time trying to read. So how do you get through a closing in 15, 20 minutes of 150 pages if you got to give them an overview of every single document, and then make sure, and then they got to give them some time to contemplate what you just said, so that they can feel like, okay, I'm cool with that. So what's this document? Well, this document is such and such and such. Okay, I'm cool with that. What's this document? Well, this document is such and such and such. I don't. I'm not getting that. Can you help me understand that? That's what you get into. Now you're sitting here like, okay, well, and just imagine if you're new with this and what training out there is really preparing you to do that with any kind of because remember, there's over 22,000 title companies. 22,000 title companies. 40 and then the lenders, you probably talking about maybe let's just be generous here and just say 40,000 variations of the loan documents. Ain't nobody training us to be able to properly share anything 40 different thousand different variations. You can see 5 different compliance agreements and power of attorneys in a loan closing. You see what I'm saying? So let's see. What do I do if the title company never gave me all the paperwork, but then they didn't pay me because of it? Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to battle with them on that one. I've never heard that happening. I mean, I don't think it. I know it probably could, but the title company never gave you all the paperwork, then didn't want to pay you because of it. Um, well, as a business owner, you have a right to go above the people who you're talking to, talk to the owner of the title company, as well as talk to the lenders, and talk to some other people like, okay, what's going on here? If you have Legal Shield, everybody's going around getting on Legal Shield. If you have Legal Shield, now you talk to your Legal Shield team, those attorneys, and get some advice and get a properly written letter from your Legal Shield team, because that's one of the things you can do, and request a payment and send them, and let them know that you will take proper legal actions because of this, because they got to show you some proof as to why they are justified in not paying you when they didn't do their part. So that's one way you can handle it. And for refinance, I don't know how the refinance closing could have actually gotten done, but when you need all of the paperwork, unless it was e-signed, and if that was the case, they should have said so. My man Claude here says, why 3 trays? Because I'm doing 70 closings a month, and I need, and the top two are letter. The bottom ones are legal, and I go through a lot of letter. And when I'm printing, I don't have time. It's a waste of time for me, or it's not efficient. I won't say a waste of time. It's not efficient for me to keep having to load the papers up. So if I'm printing a whole lot, some days I have 6 closings, and I can just print everything and just go. And then the top tray gets empty, and then I still got paper here going. I'm not using as much legal. So that's why I decided to try 3 trays, and it works for me. For some people, it doesn't, and I understand that. But so far, it's been working, and it's been very, very helpful for me to be able to load those two up and then just print. So when I print documents, I print one copy to this one copy to the other one, saves on time. If I got multiple, I might use one printer. Let's just say I got a closing for somebody named Jones. I'll print the both copies over here for them to sign in their copy, and then at the same time I'm doing the Smiths over here. So I got 2 signings. I'm printing both of them simultaneously. It's very, very efficient for me. Very efficient. And then I'm gonna get my third one up. I probably can't put my third one in here because I'll be pulling too much power on that circuit. So I'll set that up in a different room, and then I can print down there. So doing 70 signings a month, for me, I feel that it was more efficient, and it's helped me out greatly. Said I even spoke to the lady at the title company when it first borrowed house. They sent samples of the paperwork instead of the documents to be notarized. Unless you sure there wasn't a loan application for a refinance. um, let's see here. If you have your own notary business, do you think it's worth placing a large magnetic company label on the side of your car doors to take on and off as needed? You can do that. I did have that for one point in time. Um, but we have a lot of road rage folk around here, and I'm the guy that's not going to let you cut him off. So people get a little ticked off at me, and then the first thing they do is they look down at my sign, and with this day and age of we gonna give you a bad review, even though you didn't do any work. I got a bad review on my, and Google will not take it off. I went to buy a printer, and it never came. Asked a question, hey, where's my printer? And the person got mad at me for asking about where my printer is and called me, which they're not supposed to do. The seller called me, darn near cussing me out about why did I ask about where this printer. I'm like, because I ain't got it. You wanted me to buy it. You said you had it. Well, we didn't have it because we only had 10 printers and we were selling them on 5 different sites. I'm like, well, that's not smart. you know. So he went on my Google business page and left a bad comment about me. And I never did any business with him for as me servicing him when it was all about him servicing me. So this is one of the concerns that I have with this, the social media thing and Google reviews and Yelp and all of that, that if I have a magnetic sign on the car and somebody does something, and I deal with them on it, and I might be completely in the right to question them. Hey, why did you hit my car? This, that, or the other. They'll sit up there and do that, and I know that's a chance you have to take. But if you are a, what's that, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock driver, you let everybody get in front. You don't do anything aggressive. Then yeah, that'll probably be the best thing for you to do because that'll be a good way, and you'll never be in a situation like I've been where somebody's looking down at your car like Griffin Notary, baby, take this number down, and then they and all of that kind of stuff. You got Texas in the house. You love your truck magnets. You say, so when you get the assignment, do they tell you who all the signers are? It seems like that would be needed when you contact the client so that you can make sure everybody will be there at the signing. That is a very good question, Claude. Very good question. No, they don't. So I did a closing tonight that was at 5, and it only had the husband's name in there. When I got the documents, I'm going through them last night. I see the husband and the wife's name. So here's what typically happens. And this is based simply on who is borrowing the money. They put into order about over 90% of the time the name of the person who's on the promissory note. So his name was on the promissory note, even though her name was on the deed, because his name was on the note. That's who they listed as the person who I was meeting with. Now, you say, well, why don't you ask him? You can, but here's the thing, not everybody is knowledgeable about how loan closings go in your particular state. In Virginia, they typically will have the wife have to also be on the deed unless some other reason. But here's the problem. The lenders typically tell them, oh, just you'll be signing. That's what the lenders tell them a lot of time. Just you have to sign. So I've gone to closings where it has this John Jones as the person in the order. That's who's listed. I get there, and let's just say I don't even get a chance to look at the documents because this last minute coming, and I just print and go. I get there and I see, oh, Jane Jones is supposed to be here. Where's your wife? Oh man, she's at work. What do you mean she's at work? Well, the loan officer told me she didn't have to sign anything. Well, they got her on the documents. And that's when it comes to title side. So the lender side, she has nothing to sign for is the loan, but she has a lot to sign for the title side where her name is on the deed also. So you can ask, but there's a chance they may not be able to say, oh, because they'll tell you in the beginning, I used to ask. And they will say, well, no, it's just me. Okay, you sure? Yeah, just me. But then when I finally get the documents, I see it's him and her. So now I got to go back and let them know, hey, make sure. And then they're like, wait a minute, they told me my wife didn't have to sign for nothing. I said, sir, they're talking about the loan. Yeah, that's what they said. Okay, but the title she does. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So will she be there? Okay, I'm gonna have to call her and tell her. And then in some cases, they've had to reschedule because they wanted me to meet them at 10 in the morning. She at work because he was told that she didn't have to sign anything per the loan. Title never told them anything about she needs to sign stuff on the title side. So that's where one of the biggest problems comes in at. It says at the start of each signing, I simply and in the most friendly possible way say by law, I cannot explain the details of your documents, but if for some reason you need to pause due to questions, yeah. And I tell them, I say, let's get your loan officer on the phone. Let's give somebody a call. Now, there are some people who they say in their orders, and I've done videos and I've shown y'all. I think it's TransStar or TriStar, something like that. It's a Mr. Cooper. They say in their order, if any questions come up, call us. So this is why I'm saying when a notary trainer says you need to be able to explain the documents in order to be a good notary. If you can't explain the documents and help some on some basic questions, something's wrong with you. No, there's nothing wrong with you because you got title company. In other words, you got the people who are paying you saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Just direct the questions up. And then you have some signing companies that say, don't call the title company if they got questions, call me first because I will field that stuff for them because they have a background in that and they have a contractual agreement that they will filter and handle any questions at the signing table. So you got to read the instructions so the instructions can clearly tell you don't answer questions, redirect all questions to the loan officer. And I'm gonna tell you this here. I've never had a loan officer get upset with me for contacting them in order to get a question answered for their client. Have I had title companies get upset with me? Yes. But I have not had a lender who's been working with them and trying to get this deal done ever get ever get angry with me for for getting them on the phone to answer any questions for their customer. Because keep this in mind, it may be that lender's policy that any questions that come up, you, Mr. Lender, you got to make sure you answer. So the boss tells them, any questions come up at closing, you make sure they have your number and you tell them to call you because we don't need what? A notary saying something and messing up the deal. You can't tell me that that ain't what's really going on here. All right, what we got going on? I've had several contacts reach out to me, but I lose my license if I explain your document. Yeah, yeah, and it works every time. Our role is primary notarization, so that our primary focus, that's what our primary focus should be. And see, here's one of the things that I've noticed is that, and y'all have noticed it, the vast majority of questions in Facebook groups is about how to properly notarize a document. What do I do with this notarization? What do I do about this here? What does this mean? What does that mean? Do I need to change the venue? Do I need to sign it? Do I need to stamp it? Those of you who are deep into these Facebook groups, give me a percentage. Give me a percentage, like on a one on a 100 100% scale. What's the ratio of like 40% they need help with explaining the documents versus 60% they need help with notarization. If you've been in these Facebook groups and you've seen it and you sort of doing this for a while, even if you're new and just seen it, to you, what is the percentage? In other words, 60% of the time they're asking for help on notarizations, and then 40% they're asking for help on how to explain the documents. Put that in the chat for me. Because what I get most of the time, I would have to say maybe 5% of the time that I've gotten questions about how to do closings, only 5% has been something about explaining the document. And not even, and I will say this, they didn't even ask me how to explain the documents. What they was asking me was, you know, should I? Or they were telling me, well, I want to do it, but I'm not comfortable with doing it. Okay, they're not comfortable doing it and they keep messing it up. But the vast majority of the questions I've gotten is, how do I notarize this? What do I fill out here? And then the other question would be, how many people do you know? And maybe you might be one of them, got blacklisted because you didn't explain the documents right. But I think there are a lot of people who get blacklisted because they're not properly notarizing documents right. And you don't go back to fix the notarization because you don't know how to do the notarization. So you get blacklisted because you're like, I can't go back. Well, why you can't go back? I'm working. I'm out of town now. I'm sick. No, what it is, you don't know how to properly notarize. You was already jacked up on that, and then you got caught, and now you're being asked to go fix something that you don't know how to do. Let me go here. I'm glad I live in an attorney state. Yeah, New York, you ain't got to explain anything. I just noticed you have two printers. Thank you, buddy. It said, Griff, there are notaries out there that swear by page separator. I'm going to get a third tray for my Griff. Why don't you retire your office to one or two circuit by? I'm working on that. Yeah. I'm going to. I've already talked to the electrical people when they was doing some work about running a separate line up here to do that. To actually, because these they need a 20 amp. And to be honest with you, this one, I got an extension cord right now running into the hallway. To be honest, and actually, because I got that, because this one is pulling a lot of power. So when it was tripping, I got a ups machine down here, everything. So it was pulling power and tripping my circuit breaker. This one doesn't. Okay. So yeah, I got that in the works, but it costs a lot of money to do that, man. I mean, they can do it. They can run it right up here for me, but and I got plenty of room on my circuit board, on my breaker board, but it's gonna cost some money. And it's easy, and it will what's good is that on this back wall here, the power is on the same side. So it won't be that far to go, but it's still going to cost some coins to do it and everything. They say, these notaries are too cheap to get a dual tray. Yeah, and that page separator, I ain't got time to separate it, then put it back together. You don't hate it when there's lack of instructions, any of that. It says the NNA NSA training said that each borrower needs 2 copies of the right to counsel. Well, they get 2 copies of the right to counsel in their copy. Now, some companies will tell you in their instructions that they want them to, case in point, the one I did at 5 o'clock, it had 2 for him, 2 for her. Okay. 2 with his name, 2 with her name, not 2 where him and her was on the same right to counsel. So he has 2, she has 2. In order for them to have 2 signed copies, that means I would have had to print an additional one. So that way there'd be 3, and then they sign all 3, and then they keep 2 and send back 1. But the instructions didn't say any of that. However, they have 2 copies in their copy that I left with them. So this is the question that I've asked, and I got tired of asking it because nobody would give me a clear-cut answer. And when I did talk to a title company, they said, well, sometimes we want it, sometimes we don't, and that's up to the title company. So I've seen some title companies say, yes, have them sign and leave 2 copies with them and then 1 copy back with us. But they provide 3 copies of the right to cancel. You get what I'm saying? So are you saying leave 2 signed copies, or just 2 copies in general? And from that perspective, if you want, you can ask them a question, because the NNA says this, but what does the actual title company want? And one of the things that I had to learn, Claude, was that Some of these, and Amy from Cyberize It says it best. The NNA will tell you best practice is to do it this way, which means there's no, that's their way of saying there's really no standard. You might can do it, you might not, but best, but to them, best practice would be dot dot dot. So it doesn't hurt you to ask them, do you want me to do this or not? And then make note of that. So every time you work with that company, you do it. Every time you work with that company, you don't. It's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now keep this in mind. Some companies will, like, why are you asking that? Don't you know? Because they're thinking that everybody trains the same, and not everybody trains the same. Not everybody wants the same thing. So for those of you who are taking training from multiple people, you know each trainer has a different focus. Okay. So based on their experience, they may say, but I've never had anybody like call me back up and say, Griff, you didn't send, did you leave them two copies, two signed copies? I've seen instructions that say it, but I've never had anybody get on me and tell me you didn't do this, because they have two copies in their copy. Yeah, so and everything. So let me see. Man, I'm all the way down to all the questions. Okay. Yep. And I just answered that. So any other questions, any other concerns that you have with regards to this business, feel free to ask. My printers are wireless. You can run, you will have to get a hub. I don't know if I can show y'all. I can't show you this, but I have a little hub that has you can actually get a hub, and those hubs will let me do some USB hub. So you can get something like this, and you can do it that way. You can do it that way, and I need to get something so I can look this up. I really do need to show y'all this so y'all can understand something that I was saying earlier. All right. So yeah, you can get any of these hubs. It all depends on what you want to get. Matter of fact, I need to get me a new one because I want one that has like more USB-Cs on there and all of that. So you can get whatever works for you. I don't need the flash drive thingy, those little flash drive things there. I just need one that can everything can plug into. So you can get that. But that's what I do. So it depends on your internet connection. Say is wireless fast enough? I will put it this way. Wireless is fast enough when it comes to my printers, but it seems like it's slower when it comes to my scanner. So I scan wired. I scan wired to my laptop, but I print wirelessly. And I haven't had any problems whatsoever. There's a video that I did out there couple last month where I was showing people that I printed, and I printed my documents 2 sets in like 7 minutes. Okay, off of this printer here. So it didn't take that long, and I have not had a problem printing wirelessly at all. Now, if I'm doing my mobile printer setup out of my car, I'm not printing wirelessly. I print with a cable. I use the cable from my laptop to the printer because it can get clogged down trying to do it through your phone Wi-Fi network and then through your GMC wireless in there. No, I prefer to do it wired, scan wired and print wired when I'm in my car. I don't do it that much, but that's what I do. It says your printers are wireless. You say, how do you keep track of your appointments so that you aren't double booked? Google Calendar. I've shown y'all that before. You know, all of my stuff, all of my stuff is on my Google Calendar. You know, like I got these 3 tomorrow. Um, I had my inspections today. Um, this is what I got coming up next week. Right here. Um, this is what I did last week. The stuff in blue is what I did. Well, some of the stuff in blue, some of that stuff in blue is my wife's school. I always have to keep forgetting to change colors. But last week, you know, I did what? I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, 7. No, that one didn't go. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I did 21 last week. Oh, you know what? The last week of from the 29th to that. So that was 21 altogether for those and all of that. So so far for this month, I don't know how much I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, um, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So the first 10 days is 21. 21 for the first 10 days. I guess that's pretty good, you know. But that's how I keep track. When an order comes in, with on signing order, you can add it to your calendar directly from the order. It says send the calendar. You can go in there and add your Google Calendar or whatever calendar link, and then the same thing for SnapDocs. So with SnapDocs, with SnapDocs, it gives you the ability right there. When you click on add calendar, and it gives you the ability to add it to one of these calendars. So that's all you got to do. Um, that's all you got to do. Um, Now, some of the programs like Signature Closers that um, I think they have a calendar function, but that's all I do. I just add it to my calendar. Sometimes I manually put it in there and stuff. Do lenders ask? Yeah, they always ask for a copy. And the way I do it is use Adobe Scan app, take a picture of it, and then upload it to them. Depending on the platform, but I always just use Adobe Scan app, take a picture of the app, I mean, of the phone, I mean, of the ID, just the front. Every now and then somebody might ask for front and back, but I primarily do the front and take pictures of it and then upload it. They got it. Then you can delete it off your phone. That's all you got to do. So some they prefer, well, long as they can get there, as long as they can get in, as long as you're not making the file too big, you should be okay. But yeah, that's all I do. And then it says here, but when the notification pop up, how are you able to check? I got 2 phones. Y'all know I've shown y'all this phone, notifications come on. This phone is my calendar. So on this phone, see, this phone has my calendar. All of my stuff is on here. So, and I'm constantly keeping tabs of it. So like right now, so like tomorrow, if for some reason an order came in, I already know I got a 9:30, 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock. If for some reason an order came in for 3 o'clock, I don't have to think about it because I already know I'm available. Hit the button, I'm accepting it. It's that simple. Monday, let's see, Monday, um, I don't have anything till 3 o'clock. So if anything pops up, if an order came in right now, I got a notification and it said Monday, and it was before, and the time was no later than 1:30, I'm just saying yes to it. unless there's some reason that I can't. I'm just as soon as I see it. So I keep tabs. I have it up here in my head. Tuesday. I'm supposed to go to a networking luncheon, but an order came in, a good order. So I said I'm gonna do that, and I won't go to that networking luncheon. But I don't have anything else that day. So if anything came up for 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it's automatic for me just to take it because I'm doing this full time and I have no reason to say no unless something is real quirky with the order, maybe the distance or something like that. But if that's not an issue, then I'm saying yes to it. So that's how I do it. Say I got two phones also. TNG apps is on it only. Okay. And then the other phone is personal. And see, I mean, to me, both of these are business because ain't nobody calling me. Anybody calling me is for notary stuff. There's no personal phone calls that I get. There's no like, hey, what's going on, man? I don't get that. Only it just says you're on the personal calls I get is from my wife. You know what I'm saying? My wife gives me the personal calls. That's who I hear from and stuff. But that's what I do. So from time to time, I keep tabs, and y'all have seen me sitting here with y'all while I'm doing videos, and even while I'm doing live streams or videos that I'm doing in the car, and the order come through, and and sometimes like with this phone is what I use to record my videos on when I'm in the car. So sometimes what I would do is I would take a piece of paper, and I will, before I even do the video with y'all, or start it, or even like especially if I'm doing a live, um, if I'm just recording one, I can stop, I can pause it and keep going. But if I'm doing a live, a lot of times I will write down like the next couple of days, like I will write down the orders that I have over the next couple of days. Like I'll put, like the date, like the 15th, and then I will write down the time so that way if an order came in, I will already look at it and see, okay, now I'm booked at that time. I'm booked at that time. Oh, I ain't booked at that time, and then I can take it. So I have that, and I'll be sitting that right here, or in the car with me, so I can look at it. So that's one of the things that I would do, and I will literally write down what my schedule is when I'm doing video, so I can look at it in real quick. And order comes in, I already know, bam, yep, I can take it. No, I can't. No, I can't. And all of that. So Faith has a question. What questions are you asking regarding the hub? Oh, somebody was asking about how do you print using wired, a printer cable from your laptop to two separate printers. If you got two USB ports on your printer, you can do it that way. You can easily do it that way. Um, if and that's where the hub comes in, because the hub connects into one USB port or some kind of USB port, and multiple devices can go into that one hub and into your computer via that one in that one USB port, and then you have all these the hub, and everything can go into there. So I have one here that has what it has one, two, three, four, five things on it, ports, and then it has it even has a networking port. So I got a HDMI, I got a USB-C, and I got one, two, three regular USB ports on there. And so the Google Calendar with notification is amazing. You can use it for your business and personal. You're right. And what I do is I set up whenever I'm doing a so let me do this here. So when I'm setting mine up, I have mine set up. So basically, let's just say if I'm doing something for, let's just say signature, this is what I do. I do something like this with signature closers. The phone that the order comes in on is not connected to the phone where my calendar is. So I do like signature closers. I'll say closing. um, just as a placeholder for me, real quick, like, and then and we'll just leave it at, we'll just say it's at, um 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on that date, okay? And then save. One of the things that I would do is I'll go back in here and then I will add my wife and my son so they would know what my schedule is. So in there, I will add them in here, on here. I will add them on there. I always get rid of this Google Meet. And then if I need to type in anything else down here, I will. I'll add in the location and all of that. What I will tell you is one of the things you don't want that USA at the end of it, because for some reason that USA causes the calendar to display sort of funky. So I make sure that I just hand type, I'll just type Street, Allen, Town, PA. I just leave it like that. When you add that USA, it does something funky to it and it doesn't look right. Um, and everything. So then I just do this is what I do, and then I'm saving it to the calendar. You can change the colors, but I added, and one of the things that I also have on here is right here notifications. It notifies me 2 hours before. Now, if you want to set more like 2 hours, then an hour and all that, but every notification that I put in here is defaulted to let me know 2 hours before that I got a signing. And that helps me out. I don't like it anything less because that's just cutting it too close, in my opinion, for myself. But I do 2 hours, 2 hour notification, and that has helped me out to stay on track. Because let's say I got a 2 o'clock, then I have a 4 o'clock, then I try to do a 6 o'clock. So I try to do mine with a 2 hour window in between each. If it takes an hour, then I'm good. And then here's a kicker. On my phone, I don't swipe away the notification until after the sign in, and I go and look, and then I clear it out. So if I don't swipe away the notification, then what? When I look at my phone, I see the notification, and I say, okay, what is that notification? Oh, I got my sign. That's what I do. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the things that I do to keep myself flowing and going um with everything, and you adjust it to your liking. And that's the beauty about this business. We adjust it. But any other questions, concerns, thoughts about this business, about doing loan closings, about getting things set up, about how to figure this out or figure that out? Marketing. I'm not the best marketer, but you can ask me anyway. Um, because I know that many of you have questions and you don't get any kind of solid answers from some of those Facebook groups. You get more of people talking about pay them for the answer, more people talking about sign up for another training course and all of that, rather than just answer the question. So that's what I wanted to do tonight, is provide y'all an avenue, a venue. I mean, to actually ask questions. And y'all ask some great questions, and I really, really appreciate it, because my goal is to make sure that you are moving in the right direction with this business. So I wanted to show y'all something. Let me see if I can find it real quick. And if you got any other question, please feel free to ask them. So let me see if I can find this for y'all real quick. All right, let me find this for y'all real quick. I really need to show y'all, especially if you're a Virginia notary here. You really need to know this here. All right. I use Notary Assist. That's what I first came into, and I just been using them ever since. I think they both work pretty much the same. I tried Notary Gadget, but I really just got into Notary Assist and never looked back. But honestly, in my opinion, it really doesn't matter which one. Some people are really sold on Notary Gadget, almost religiously. I'm just being honest with you. And I'm like, it doesn't matter what tool you use, long as you got your stuff together financially, I don't really sit here and promote neither one of them. I talk about Notary Assist from the standpoint, some of the features they got, like you can, the automatic import. They may have it too on Gadget. I don't know. But, like if I get my notification for my orders, it says, okay, my confirmation, I can forward that to Notary Assist and they will automatically put it in there. Then all I got to do is just add the rest of the details. But they should be working pretty much the same. You know, one has Notary Assist has a lot of good tracking in it for is helping you to see what work you did, um you know where your workload is at, and I like that. I really really like that. And I'll show y'all that real quick. I'll show y'all that real quick. Let me see how I want to do this here. All right, cool. Let me show y'all that before I show you the Virginia thing. And you're welcome there, my man. You're welcome there, Claude. And thanks for being a member. So I know this is going to be hard to see, but this is right now for 2024, what I've put in. I haven't finished putting in everything, but it's showing I got like 39 appointments in there, the mileage, the total amount, and all of that. So it's showing where my work is coming from. So right now, so far this year, I've had 11 refinances. This is what I have in here. And I'm gonna see if I can zoom in at least a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna take myself out so y'all can see. So this is showing commercial loans, two of them, averaging 400 and averaging 225 a pop. Deed resigns, general loan signing work. I don't know what I put that in. I don't know what I might not have categorized that and it just automatically defaulted there. HELOCs, I've done 9 of them, averaging $56 a pop, so $505. Loan application, which I got much more, so I got to add those in there. Loan mods, made $90 of that. Miscellaneous documents, 55. Purchases, 495, and I got a buttload more to add in there. Refinances, 965. So this is showing the numbers. Okay. This is showing the numbers and it helps me to get an idea of where the bulk of my work is coming from. Okay. Now, again, this is gross. This doesn't account for the taxes and insurance and my expenses and stuff. So there's no need to get too happy, like, woohoo, and then this here is showing from last year. I did a couple of assumptions. It shows I did 231 purchases. Okay. 231 purchases. This helps you to get an idea of where the flow. So the year before, if I'm not mistaken, I did more money in refinances than in purchases. Okay. Yeah. So in 2022, I did 297 purchases, refinances, and only 90. So this shows you how it can flip flop back and forth depending on the year. So for those of you who sitting here trying to be all uppity about all of this, you're trying to sit here and be so uppity about, well, I only do this and I only do that. You can be missing out on a buttload of money. And there are people who sit there and talk, I don't do purchases, I don't do sales, I only do refis. I'll do 297 refis, and then the next year was way down. But I still did them. So this is about doing business. This isn't about having bragging rights. And the biggest issue right now is that so many notaries are trying to have these bragging rights about being able to sit up here and say, I'm making 150 for every time I walk out of my house. I don't care what you make. If you doing that, cool. As long as you got the money to pay your daggone bills, you good with me. I don't care. So let me show y'all this real quick. And I meant to show y'all this earlier. So this right here, this is what is called the Code of Virginia. Of this here has all the various laws for the state of Virginia. This just talks about prohibitations, okay? Prohibition, stuff you can't do. All right. And for those of you get off me about my enunciation and stuff. I know I didn't announce stuff, pronounce stuff right. So I don't need you in my comments, with your little sly remarks. Okay. Okay. There's no need. Okay. Go on with that. But it says here, a notary shall not perform an official act with the intent to deceive or fraud. Then it says here, a non-notary, a non-attorney notary shall not assist another person in drafting, completing, selecting, or understanding a document or transaction requiring a notarial act. This section does not preclude a notary who is duly qualified, trained, or experienced in a particular industry or professional field from selecting, drafting, completing, or advising on a document or certificate related matter within that industry or field, or prevent a notary from adding a certificate, electronic, so forth and so on. So what it's saying is, if you are duly qualified, trained, or experienced in a particular industry or professional field, and you're a notary, you can do this. You can help the person out. How much clearer can that be for Virginia notaries? Know what I'm saying? Virginia notaries. I don't care about the other notaries. That's on y'all. Y'all figure that out. I'll do what I can to help you figure it out. But Virginia notaries, it tells us right here, what we can and can't do. So, to any notary trainer, you explain to me, based off of what you see here. Let me bring it back up. Let me bring it up, and without me in it. Based on this right here, you tell me how I can sit there and explain. You tell me how I can do any of this based off of the way you're training me with these documents, when my state law says this. That's what I want to know. You get what I'm saying? You know what you mean? Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Um, you can keep that any kind of way, but man, I do so many miles with the notary stuff that the field inspection I don't really have to do. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm doing like sometimes 2,000 miles a month. But you can keep your field inspection. I mean, you can just record that. You can use an app on your phone, Mile IQ. I think that's what it's called. It's all kinds of different things out there. I mean, there's so many different tools that you can use to keep tabs of all of that. So there's no one particular way that I do it, but you can use whatever tool that is out there in order for you to keep track of all of that. Honestly. Um, Thank you very much. Y'all know, yeah, you know what I mean. But my point is this: if you see what the law says, and that's what we're bound to, that's what we swore an oath to, then how does what somebody trying to teach me coincides with the law? That's the question. That's the question. And I'm still waiting for somebody to show me legally how I can take somebody's course that teaches me how to explain or briefly describe a document and it doesn't violate that. That's what I want to know. And when they can show me that, according to Virginia law, I'll do it all day, every day. Because I'm not duly trained in any. See, just because we're notaries and we're part of this mortgage industry, it doesn't mean that we're actually trained and experienced and qualified in this industry or profession. A lot of the people who are teaching you about the documents are people who are trained and qualified and experienced in this profession as mortgage officers, as escrow officers, settlement agents, and they're teaching you to do what they did. But does that qualify per your state? If your state doesn't say yes, what Mary Jones is teaching you qualifies for this, meets the qualification for this. If your state can't say that, then you can't do it. So somebody got to show me that what you're teaching me is approved by my state and allows me to do it based on this here statute. Now, if y'all understand what I'm saying, put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you understand what I'm saying, because that's really where it's at. And I see a lot of when you start getting to the legal stuff. I know I'm looking at the count of how many people. Now all of a sudden people dropped out. A whole bunch. We had like 40 some people. When you start getting into the legal side of things, oh, people, that tells me something about you don't want to hear the legal side, because if you hear this, then you're bound to it. People don't want to do that. Thank y'all for the ones. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. And to this date, nobody has told me that I was wrong in what I'm saying. They don't like what I'm saying, and I get that. But I'm legally bound to do what? Follow my state law. So if that's what I'm legally bound to do, then why won't I do it? And that's where a lot of us are getting in trouble at, is that we're not following our state laws. The more you don't follow your state laws, the more chances you have to getting in trouble. So a trainer is they're going to train, they're going to do what they want to do, they're going to say what they want to say. All I'm asking them to do is properly disclose to you that, hey, there's some limitations in what I'm teaching you. And if they're doing that, then great. Then that means you, whether they do it or not, still have the obligation and the responsibility to go and find out what the law says. Because here's the thing. I got that information right out of here. Okay. This is it right here from the NNA handbook. Look what it says. Do not assist others with legal matters. Okay. Let me get this deal so y'all. It says it right here. As a non-ministerial officer, a non-attorney notary is not permitted to assist other persons in drafting, preparing, selecting, completing, or understanding a document or transaction requiring a notarial act. The problem is with the NNA part, they didn't put in the rest. They left it like that, and then they put the Code of Virginia code in there. So I went to the code. I went and I said, okay, let me go to here and see what it says. And then that's when I saw the rest of it. So the NNA, this part that's engraved, the NNA left that part out. So let's just say you are a person who's a notary and you have a background and you are in that professional industry and you qualified. And if you just went with what they said in the NNA primer, you could be missing out on some stuff. You might be able to get some more pay because you qualified to be able to do this. This is why you got to do the research on your own. This is why you got to get in there and get into this stuff, because if you don't, you could be missing out. So again, what training that is out there is geared to helping me to be qualified to be able to say more about the documents than what my state statute says I can. And then how much experience should I have? How much training should I have? What is the qualification that I need to have in a particular industry or professional field? That's the question. What professional field are you talking about? Well, it would have to be something in dealing with mortgages or that field concerning that document, because this isn't just for mortgages. This is for any document. So whatever the document is, power of attorneys, wills, estate planning, any training that is out there, is that training good enough for me to not be considered doing unauthorized practice of law? Does it shield me from that? If it does, then great. Then I need proof. I need documented proof that your training protects me from the unauthorized practice of law in my state. And if the moment I ask for that, you say, well, I can't promise you that, then why do I need to take your training? Especially if your training is geared to make me do something that I'm not legally allowed to do. Now, y'all help me understand where I'm incorrect in it. Help me understand that, okay, well, nah, Griff, see, really what it is, this is the thoughts that be going through my head when I'm out here just driving around. I'm like, okay, people keep saying this and keep saying that, and I said, okay, do this, and you said do that, and I'm like, but I'm reading and I'm saying this is telling me this, and then this is, and I'm like, so how do we do that when this is telling me something, and but you're over there in Kansas, I'm here, and you don't know anything about what we do here. But everything you're telling me based off of you in Kansas, you want me to implement it here, or you really don't care because as long as I pay you for the information, whether I do it or not is really on me. So I'm paying you to learn something that I probably shouldn't be doing. Why would I pay for something that I can't use? And it's not that I want people not to make money to train us. No, make the money. Just make the money from the people who can use your information. Because as a business owner, your job is not to waste money. And you can be spending money on all these trainings and courses and stuff, and it could be a waste of time because if you get with a financial planner, the first thing they're going to ask you is, okay, let's look at your expenses. You get with an accountant, let's look at where you're spending money at. Okay, are you using this training? Is this training benefiting and helping your business out? Well, not really. Then why are you spending on it? Why are you paying a monthly subscription to that? Well, just in case. Okay, that ain't good enough. If you're trying to build wealth, spending money on something for just in case isn't good enough. It's not. You need to do more than just in case. Well, I'm doing it just in case I hear something that could at 40, $50 a month, just in case, and you can't get with them and you can't ask them questions, they can't guide you on anything. That's why with the channel membership that I have, people they know they can call me up and ask me questions, and I will get on there. They need to do a document review. They need some help on understanding how to notarize properly. Whatever. I don't care if it's not in my state. We'll sit down and read the daggone state law together. And I've done that with many, many people. There's people they said they want to sit there and like one young lady, she got a opportunity to work with Redfin. So me and her sat there and we practiced what they needed her to do. And she did a two sample closings with me as so to get ready for it. And then she got selected. Not that I did anything special, but I just made myself available to her. This is what I do. The other trainers don't do that. They're like, pay me for my money, look at my tape and CD and 8-track, and then go make it happen. And either you do or you don't. And if you sign up for my monthly membership, keep paying me. And if you ask me a question, just throw it in a Facebook group and somebody out there will answer it, or somebody that might be something in your area that's a part of that's connected with me might be able to answer it, but I can't answer it. So I'm paying you money so that somebody else can answer a question. Do they get paid for that? Do they actually get paid for answering my question, even though I'm paying you a monthly fee? And there ain't no daggone way. Personally, there ain't no way I'm gonna be a part of any group where the lead person of that group is getting paid and then telling me, suggesting that I help them out and ask, and I don't get nah, yeah, 8-track, yeah, good old 8-track. You know what I'm saying? That's my concern. But well, it's not my concern. That's what I'm noticing. That would be my concern if that was me. I would like, I'm not doing this for free, man. And you making all this money, lady, and then you tell them to ask in a Facebook group, and then you're looking for, hey, answer Francesca's question. Okay, we're all paying you $10 a month or whatever. and now we got to answer each other questions. We ain't getting paid for it. Boy, that's a serious finesse there. That's a serious finesse. I mean, this is just popping in my head now. I mean, think about it. You're in a Facebook group that you're not making any money on, but you're expected to help out the other notaries while the person who started the Facebook group is making bank. Man, right now I feel like I'm on Club Shay Shay. Mm. I ain't lying to you. I feel, truth be told, this ain't no cognac. Watermelon. I mean, whoo, you think about it, y'all. Tell me your thoughts on that. You're in a Facebook group, and the person who started it is getting money, but they're telling everybody else who's in the Facebook group that's paying them to answer the questions that come in. And they're not answering any questions because they don't want any liability on them. But all the liability is on you. Ooh, that hurts just thinking about it. Yeah, my man Shannon Sharp. Look, it get beyond the cussing and this, that, and the other. One of the things that Monique said in that interview, and I listened to both of them, Kat's and hers. The one thing that Monique said in there is that when they said you're supposed to be honest and tell the truth, but when people are honest and tell the truth, once we get grown, and I've said this before on this channel, once we get grown and we start being honest and tell the truth, we then are told, well, there's some repercussions for you being honest. So now you want me to lie. You want me to be deceitful. And I've heard people say, well, be careful because if you say certain things and you say something about mention so and so's name, they're going to come get you. And I'm like, they can stop you from being able to make money in this business. And I'm like, if there's anybody in this notary business or any in business that's that powerful, that because you address something that is true and you got facts and you got proof to back it up, that they can stop you from being able to earn money because you're just being honest, that's a problem. That is a true problem. And I got backing if that did happen. Okay, I'm not no country bunkin, so I got my stuff together. After somebody told me that, I was like, let me get my stuff together just in case somebody tries to do that. But that's a fear tactic, that you're too afraid to say something, to speak your truth. We always talk about speaking your truth. So you speak your truth and you're punished for it. That's not right on any level in any industry, W-2 or business owner. It's not right. And that's a problem, especially when you have people who follow these folk go around telling you don't say nothing. And they acting like these gatekeepers that Kat and Monique was talking about. You got these people that are saying, okay, I know you're not getting what you wanted and you pay $500, but look, don't say nothing. Because if you question them, they can stop you from making money. You only took 500. I ain't making no money with what you gave me. You got for my 500. I ain't making any money with what information you gave me. And then I say something about it, and then you're gonna stop me from being able to make money. I'm like, what have we gotten into? Really? What have we gotten into if this business is really laid out like that you can't say your truth? People say they truth about me all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that is very, very nerve-wracking to me, is that you got people who believe that. They go around like, I don't say nothing. I mean, I feel you, but I ain't saying nothing because if I say something, whew, they might call somebody and get me blacklisted. That is a huge problem. It's I used to get in trouble at my old W-2 for speaking the truth a little too freely. Yep, same here. Same here, you know, but this is where we're at, people. And that's why I was saying in my video earlier today, it's up to us to make this work for ourselves. And if you're unwilling to do the due diligence, if your personality is so non-confrontational that it just causes you anxiety and stress to address something that you clearly see for yourself that is not right, then I don't think this is the right business for you. If you're going to just sit back and just, well, I hope you get right. I hope somebody fix it. But yet you want to reap the benefits of it being fixed and you don't want to be a partaker and a participant in getting it fixed, you probably need to look at a different industry. Because I'm telling you, for you as an independent business owner, you're going to have to get your hands dirty and you're going to have to speak your truth. And that's all I'm doing on this channel, speaking my truth about what I'm learning. And I'm willing to be corrected by whoever has the proper information to correct me. And I'm not talking about correcting me based on your feelings and based on the fact that, well, I just, this is my way of making money. I'm like, okay, I get that. And I'm not trying to stop you from making money. I just want to know the truth. And if what you're saying is the truth, and the only way for me to get that truth is to pay you, then I'll gladly pay you. But if I can get the truth that you're speaking and I don't have to pay you, then that's my right to do. And I should not be restricted from doing that. If I want to pay to get the truth, then I will. If I found that I don't have to pay to get the truth, then I should not be I should not be told that that's the wrong thing and made to feel bad about it and ostracized that I decided to learn it on my own and not yield myself to you, because you're a person who I really don't know except for you on YouTube, TikTok, or whatever else talk that you on. I don't know you as a person. I just know of you. You presented yourself to me, and I chose not to engage with you and to be a part of your inner circle or your outer circle or on your front porch or whatever. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do my thing. I have confidence in me. I'm a bet on me, and I believe that I have the ability to learn this business and do great things in it. If the business is to the point that the only way to learn it is to go through about 7 or 8 different notary trainers out there, and that's the only way, then something's wrong with this business. If that my success is tied into being connected with only them, whoever them are, or they are, or he, she is, or whatever it is, that group is, as Kwame Brown says, the go along, get along gang, and as I say, the cool kids club. Being a business owner is not about being a part of the cool kids club. It's about you going out here finding a item that you can sell and market to people who need it. That's what this is about. And when you get off from that, when you veer away from that, then you're getting into dangerous territory and you're not really conducting business. You're just out here for show and tell. You're just out here for bragging rights. So if you really want to do business, then develop a product, find a niche, go out there, market it, go out there, sell it, and provide great service that is legal and that is in accordance with your state law or whatever that business laws are for that industry that you're doing. And when you can do that consistently, you will see growth and success, and you will have the finances, the revenue, the wealth that you desire. But if you keep tying yourself to people who are holding you back and just constantly pulling more and more money out of you, but when you go to them for help, they can't really help you, and they keep telling you to go to other people who are paying them and not getting anything back in return, there's no guarantee that that person who they're telling you to go to or that group they're telling you to go to is even giving you the truth. They're just giving you something, and the something they're giving you is to keep you paying for another month. Oh, wow, they helped me out. They told me something. Could you implement it? Well, no, not really. But maybe next month when I pay my $40, then I'll get something that I can implement. But did it work the next month? No. But if I pay one more month, maybe it'll happen then. And you just keep hoping and a wishing and a praying. When my ship comes in, and it never comes because you haven't built the proper peer for it anyway. Come on, baby, talk to me. Your videos have been far more beneficial to me than other notary related channels. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. I appreciate that. So we've been up here 2 hours. It's time for me to bounce. I got to start, printing my documents and all of that for tomorrow, and I'm getting ready for that. So again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, all of that. Thank you for the super chats, the super thanks. Thank you for everything. I really do appreciate it, and I do enjoy communicating with y'all and all of that. And this has been actually the best Q&A session because y'all actually got in here and asked a bunch of questions, and I really appreciate it because a lot of times people won't ask questions. They just sitting back like, I'm just waiting to see what somebody else say. I appreciate that. I really, really, really do. So I know we got Super Bowl this weekend. Whoever wins, win. But what I want y'all to do is to win. And if y'all are winning, then that's all that matters. So go out here, score your touchdown, kick your field goals, get your tackles, get your safeties, get your sacks, get whatever you need to get so you can win this here notary business and go out here and take care of your family. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.